Hey guys, welcome back to another full broadcast here in our FCS Dynasty and NCAA Football 2006. Today we got the Cal Poly Mustangs, who are 3-1 on the season, traveling to take on the 2-2 San Diego Toreros. And right off the bat here, we have another suspension for the Toreros. Boom Johnson has broken a major team rule. They're not going to go into any details, but it needs to be disciplined immediately, and they want a 3-game suspension, so I have no idea what this young man did, but he's going to be out for 3 games, unfortunately, for San Diego. Let's take a look at the rosters for these squads. Demarius Lamache, 84 overall. Eric Spears Jr. has a higher overall than Alexander Connor, but due to the spring game, Connor won that quarterback battle. And they have a lot of 80 overall players as well. Ralph Williams, Greg Ford, and some players that are not subscriber players, 2 linemen. And there's Alexander Connor, 80 overall. Desmond Lewis, 78. Joseph Lozano, a 78. Raul Lozano, a 78 as well. And Paxton Early down there at a 76, along with Williamson and Malik Higgins. Now the San Diego Toreros. We have Darrell Ballard, 87 overall quarterback. He hasn't really been able to show his true potential this season due to the offensive line being really bad. But the Toreros will be out without their number 2 player, Boom Johnson, today. Got Dylan Tong, Luke Moss, and Rob Roy, both the middle linebackers. DJ Payne, Isaac Price, Brick Wall, left tackle. He's suspended for this game as well, so that's a big loss to the O-line. Robbie Ballard is 78 overall. Doug Lay and Demetrius George. And they're pretty much the same exact player build, almost identical ratings. But that's it for the rosters. I predict Cal Poly to win this one 30-20. It'll be a fun game, and let's see what the guys think about it.
Greetings from EA Sports. I'm Brad Nessler, and alongside me are Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit. It's a picture-perfect day as we get set for today's contest between the Mustangs and the home team. Halfway through the season, and the race in the PAC-10 is heating up. And here comes the home team. The home team don't seem to match up too well in this one. Kirk, I'm not sure I like their chances very much.
The away team needs to look no further than their quarterback to figure out this team together. His ability to read the defense and take what they give him is the reason they'll win this football game. He's a smart young man.
I know everyone has been waiting. It's time for my pick. I really believe that these guys are going to do it.
So everybody is on the Mustang train today. No surprise. The Mustangs have been really good this season. San Diego has struggled in a couple games. But this should be a fun one. Cal Poly came into this game with the number 1 offense in the nation, 14th ranked rushing offense, number 1 passing offense. They've also put up 51.5 points per game, which is good for 3rd in the country, as Doug Lay returns the opening kickoff to the 19-yard line. And the Toreros started off on offense. Darrell Ballard, the leader, came into this game with 961 yards, 5 touchdowns, 7 picks, but he has been sacked 22 times. It kind of reminds me of David Carr in the Houston Texans, how his offensive line just always let him down every season. And there's a nice completion for a nice 5-yard pickup to start things off. And behind Darrell Ballard is Robbie Ballard, who comes into the game with 635 yards on the season and 7 touchdowns. He also has 36 broken tackles, but Darrell Ballard gets sacked here, and that is Greg Ford on the sack, and that is actually his first of his career. It's his 5th tackle for a loss this season as well, and he has 6 tackles altogether and an interception, which he got last week. That was awesome. Cal Poly, 3rd-ranked defense in the nation as well. Number 3 rush defense, number 12 pass defense, and a number 25 turnover differential on the season. But San Diego gets close to the first down marker here, and that is Robbie Ballard. He's a yard shy, and the crowd is chanting. They want him to go for it. But I think it's a little too early for them to go for it here. You just got to punt the football away and trust your defense. And I think the head coach should have a lot of trust in his defense today, as they held Eastern Washington to 7 points last week in a very dominant performance. And there's a nice punt all the way down to the 18-yard line. And Malik Higgins on the return. Or is that Desmond Lewis? No, that was Malik Higgins. 17 returns on the season, 11.3-yard average. And this electric offense is going to take the field. Alexander Connor coming into the game with 1,500 total yards and 15 touchdowns. Over 1,400 passing and 182 yards rushing on the season. And he's going to hand it off to Lozano on the first play of the game, and he'll pick up 2 yards. Raul Lozano III had 455 yards and 6 touchdowns before this football game, and also 244 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns. And there's a look at the offense, 577 yards per game. They averaged 203 on the ground and 374 through the air. And they're going to continue the ground and pound. Lozano to the outside. First down and more up to the 50-yard line. And taken down by Dylan Tong. That's his 21st tackle on the season. He also has 2 for a loss, 3 picks, and 6 pass deflections. Stadium trying to get loud for their team. They haven't won enough games yet to really get too loud. And here's Lozano again up the middle. And he'll pick up about 9 yards. He's got 26 yards on 3 carries already. Off to a fantastic start. And he's closing in on 500 yards rushing for the season. Malik Higgins still looking for his first receiving touchdown on the year. He does have 456 yards receiving on the season. What a move by Lozano III. He's in the open field, and he's going to take it all the way for the touchdown. What a move to get into the open space. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what that was. That was awesome. He didn't even do a move. He just kind of bounced around and then turned around and ran. 41-yard touchdown run. That was impressive. That's his 7th touchdown rush of the season. He's now over 500 yards rushing for the year. And Cal Poly off to a good start. 7-0 already here in San Diego, California. Let's see how the Toreros respond. The offensive line needs to do a better job to give Darrell Ballard some time to find his targets. He's got Demetrius George, Doug Lay, and Robbie Ballard. I'd really like for this team to add a playmaking tight end in the offseason. They definitely need that because they've only got 3 targets on offense for Ballard, who is one of the best quarterbacks rating-wise in the entire country as a true freshman. This team's defense is really stacked, but we didn't really see it on that drive by Cal Poly. But of course, they do have the #1 offense in the country, so this should be a very interesting game. And here's Doug Lay on the return, and a nice stiff arm that'll get him up to the 27-yard line. See what Darrell Ballard can do, or if they will ground and pound a little bit here with Robbie Ballard, who had a career game last week. Over 200 rushing yards. And they're going to come out in the I formation. Play action from Ballard, taking a deep shot down the field. Wide open is Demetrius George, and he's inside the 10, tracked down by Ralph Williams. That's Ralph Williams' 23rd tackle on the season, but what a huge play. There was a blown coverage on the right side. George is wide open. And he's going to get a 15-yard taunting penalty right now. And that was a blown zone coverage. Not a defender within 15 yards. Ralph Williams has the speed to catch up to him, though. And a stupid penalty. 15 yards. That'll drop them back at about the 20-yard line. Yep, right at the 19. And that's a big mistake. It's 1st and goal now from about the 20-yard line. That's not what you want. But I believe that catch gives Demetrius George 400 receiving yards on the season. And they try a toss play, and Ballard goes nowhere. Big stop by Sims. And just like that, they just keep moving backwards. So a very costly penalty from Demetrius George. Not the best decision to celebrate already in this game. You're losing already. You finally get a nice play, and then you screw it up. 2nd and goal from the 24. Ballard hit as he throws towards the end zone. Deflected away, almost picked off by Ralph Williams and Joseph Lozano. And Ballard was destroyed by Paxton Erdley, who came into this game with 7 tackles, 3 for a loss, 2 sacks, and a pass deflection, which led to the Greg Ford interception last week. And a huge play here, 3rd and goal from the 24-yard line. San Diego is dead last in the country on 3rd downs this season at 20%. Well, you need to get at least 10 yards here to make the field goal easier for the kicker, who is not the best in the nation. And Ballard goes down for a loss. They just move backwards every single play after that penalty from Demetrius George. My goodness. Linebacker coming through, breaking through a block. And it's now 4th and goal from the 27-yard line, and that is just not good for the Toreros. And 4th down conversions, they're going for it, guys. 33% on the season. That's 101st in the country. They need a touchdown here. Take a shot to the end zone, Darrell. And he will take a shot, and it is dropped. It is dropped by Demetrius George. So that drive started with a huge play from Demetrius George, which he then got a 15-yard penalty for, and then he drops a touchdown on 4th and goal. So he starts the drive, and he ends it, but not in a good way for the Toreros. Connor, he gets sacked. He'll lose about 7 yards. Linebacker comes through unblocked. That'll be 2nd and 16. I think both of these teams should just go away from the play action because it's not working. San Diego's got 2 defensive linemen that are subscriber players. And Cal Poly, they have 3 defensive linemen. So the quarterbacks are not going to get a whole lot of time to throw the football today. And here's a quick pass to Lozano. And he's going to pick up maybe 5 yards. That'll give Lozano the 3rd 250 receiving yards on the season. It's now 3rd and 10. Connor trying to audible here. He's under center. Gonna throw it. Quick pass again to Lozano. Breaks a tackle, and he picks up the 1st down. Very nice run after the catch for Raul Lozano III. Just a lot of quick passes so far from Connor. Quick, decisive throws. Very good. And he's going to throw it again here. Nope. Quarterback draw. He'll pick up a yard or 2. Luke Moss on the tackle. And Luke Moss came into this game with 15 tackles, 3 for a loss, 1 sack, 3 picks, which he returned for 75 yards, 8 pass deflections, and 1 fumble recovery. Now 2nd and 8. Connor under center again. Lozano III behind him. And they're going to go play action. He's hit as he throws, and over the middle it is caught. My goodness. Malik Higgins on the reception. Very nice play. Malik Higgins, of course, over 450 receiving yards this season. Still looking for his first touchdown catch. He does have 1 kick return for a touchdown this season. Have yet to see Desmond Lewis, who has 291 yards receiving on 16 catches with 2 touchdowns on the year. And Lozano III right up the middle, stiff arms the defender. And they're going to get Cal Poly for a clipping penalty here. That'll drop them back. That'll make it 1st and 24. Head coach Dan Fouts looking on, not very happy with his defense so far, allowing that huge Raul Lozano III touchdown run earlier. But they do get a break there. 1st and 24 now. Connor's going to come out under center. Raul behind him. Might be the last play of the 1st quarter. And they're going to hand it off to Lozano. Spins out Dylan Tong and picks up about 7 yards. That'll make it 2nd and 17. And I don't know if Cal Poly is going to actually snap this ball right now. And they will snap it with 1 second to go. Connor's pass is almost intercepted by Rob Roy over the middle. It was deflected at the line. That's going to be the 1st quarter, folks. 7-0 Cal Poly on top here in a Pac-10 game. Long way to go here on 3rd down. 17 yards from San Diego's 46-yard line. Dylan Tong coming up close to the line of scrimmage. They're going to blitz him. And Connor's going to take a deep shot. And that is way overthrown, intended for Johnson. That'll make it 4th and 17. Cal Poly's going to send on the special teams units to punt the football away. Huge stop for the Toreros, but they need something to go their way on offense, and they need their players to not get too excited about it. And there is the punt towards the near sideline, and fair catch from Doug Lay. No, Dylan Tong at the 11-yard line. Ballard has been sacked once already today for the 23rd time on the year. See if he'll hand it off to Robbie. And he's going to audible here, maybe a hot route, and he will throw it. Quick pass down to the right side, and that is about a 7-yard pickup, 7 or 8. Well, Ballard's actually been sacked twice. I apparently forgot one of them. Forgive me. 2nd and 2, upcoming from the 18-yard line. Toreros coming into the game with the 14th ranked rush defense. They're not looking like it so far. How about the offense here? Nice run from Robbie. But the Toreros come in with the number 5 turnover differential on the season, which is very impressive, especially since Darryl Ballard has thrown 7 interceptions. Let's see if they can turn it around here today, though. They're not off to a hot start. Ballard is going to be sacked again. That's the 25th sack on the season. And that is Greg Ford's 2nd sack of his career, 2nd of the game. That'll make it 2nd and 13. The offensive line failing Darryl Ballard again and again. Of course, Cal Poly's rush defense, they only allow 48.7 yards rushing per game, and they're only allowing 236 total yards of offense per game. There's Doug Lay over the middle for the first down. But the passing defense for Cal Poly is also fantastic, 12th in the country, averaging 187.7 yards given up per game. So a couple pretty impressive defenses. San Diego's offense needs a lot of work. Cal Poly seems to really have everything down pat, and San Diego gets sacked again. Greg Ford, my goodness. 3 sacks today. It's just not even fair at this point. Ballard sacked 4 times here in the first half. We still got 4:30 to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 16, 2 tight end formation. Got Rob Roy in there playing some tight end. And that pass is picked off by Demarius Lamache inside the 5-yard line. His first career interception. What a play by the big defensive end. And that pass was thrown right to him. Let's take another look at the replay. And he threw it directly into his hands. So far in this dynasty, only 2 defensive linemen from our subscriber teams have had interceptions, and they are both on the Cal Poly Mustangs. Greg Ford and Demarius Lamache. What a play by the defensive end. And the Mustangs in great field position at the 4-yard line. Handed off to Lozano III. He only gets a yard on the run. Payne on the tackle. And that is Payne's 8th tackle on the season. He also has 3 for a loss, 2 sacks, 1 fumble recovery. 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. I formation. Lozano III right up the middle to the 1-yard line. Luke Moss with a nasty hit. Oh no, it wasn't Luke Moss. That was the right outside linebacker. It looked like Luke at first. But 3rd and goal now for Cal Poly from the 1. Got to think they're going to run the football again here with Lozano. Goal line formation. And they're going to move the fullback to the left side. And they're going to throw the ball. And wide open is Malik Higgins for his first career touchdown reception. He was just standing there wide open. Oh my goodness. Cal Poly up 2 scores now over the San Diego Toreros. San Diego might want to get into panic mode here. Offense is not performing too well. They had a huge play to Demetrius George, but that drive was snuffed out. And now Cal Poly, after an interception, has a 2-touchdown lead. And it is 14-0, folks, here in San Diego, California. This is a battle of two of the top 5 Pac-10 schools. San Diego is 2-0 in the conference. Cal Poly is 1-0 in Pac-10 play. And this game is huge for conference standings going down the rest of the season. Because having 5 subscriber teams in here, it's anybody's ball game, really. Back deep to return, Doug Lay. And that's actually Demetrius George on the other side. And bounces to the outside, past the 30-yard line and to the 37. That was a great return. That move that he did looked similar to the move Raul Lozano III did on his touchdown run. How will Darrell Ballard respond after throwing that interception to the defensive end? Will he come back and try to sling it deep? Or will they try to run the football here with Robbie Ballard? No, they're going to go screenplay, and that goes nowhere. Joseph Lozano on the tackle. Defense looking dominant right now for Cal Poly, which is to be expected with a 3rd-ranked defense in the country. Ballard hot routing a receiver. He's going to throw it. Quick pass, and it's intercepted again. Who is it this time? Anthony Harmon, the right outside linebacker. And this is not good for the Toreros. And that was another pass that was just directly to the defender. Oh my goodness. Darrell Ballard not looking so hot today. Alexander Connor back on offense at the 33-yard line of San Diego. He's going to take a quick strike right side, and Johnson will have about an 8-yard reception, excuse me. Now 2nd and 2, less than 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying the full broadcast. Let's try to get this video to 15 likes today, all right, guys? Nice run for Connor. Connor not really known for scrambling too much. Only 182 yards rushing this season, but he's got 4 touchdowns. And he is very effective with his legs when he actually does take off. There's a look at the red zone report. 21 scores out of 26 tries, 20 touchdowns, 1 field goal, 80% for Cal Poly. And Lozano's going to get a carry up the middle, breaks a tackle, and picks up 5 yards. He is a very impressive halfback. He's got great vision, and I really like using him in Cal Poly's games. He's just very quick and agile. And that's why he's got over 800 total yards on the season now. 2nd and 5, Connor going to hand it off to Lozano again, and he's going to walk into the end zone and just dives for a little extra something. 10-yard touchdown run. And Cal Poly looks like they're running away with this one so far. It's 20-0. And the home crowd here in San Diego, very quiet right now. Mustangs looking dominant. Head coach Raul Lozano, very impressive so far in his first season for the Mustangs. And it's 21-0 here against San Diego for him. So he is beating Dan Fouts and the Toreros quite handedly. Demetrius George and Doug Lay back to return the kickoff. They need a big play here, something to spark their squad. They desperately need something to go their way. And the kick is deep. This one will be to Doug Lay at the 1-yard line. And he's up past the 30. Nice return up past the 40-yard line. That might be the spark that the Toreros needed. Great return from Doug Lay. Now, can we get Daryl Ballard to throw the football downfield and actually connect with somebody on his team? That is the biggest question of this half. They're going to go I formation, though. If I was playing with them right now, I would be trying to run the football because the passing game hasn't been working, but what a play. Great concentration from Doug Lay to make a reception off of a pass that looked like it was deflected 2 times by the defense. A little bit of luck going the Toreros' way on that play, and they desperately needed it. Lay, 3 catches, 30 yards today. That brings him up to 14 catches for 270 yards on the season, and the ground game is just not working. Demarius Lamontre on the tackle for a loss. And he is having a monstrous game so far at the defensive end spot. We've actually seen all of the defensive linemen get some big plays here. And there's another one, but that is actually Anthony Harmon, the linebacker who had the interception earlier. 3rd and 11 upcoming. Toreros need a big play here. They're definitely not in field goal range. They need a score before this half ends, or it's going to get ugly. Ballard pressured, throws it back, and almost intercepted by Lee. There's so many players with the last name Lee in this dynasty, and I didn't even notice that when I was naming players. But we've got Brandon Lee, Donald Lee, Cody Lee. Those are the only subscriber players with that last name. And the Toreros punting it, and that was a fair catch, and they hit him. Another mistake here by San Diego, and that's going to give Cal Poly the ball at their own 24-yard line as Ralph Williams called for the fair catch and was hit anyway. San Diego needs to stop them here. They cannot afford another score before the half. Connor under center. Raul Lozano III behind him. And they're going to go play action. Connor down on the right side. Johnson with a nice catch. Only a 3-yard pickup. And it doesn't really look like they're trying to get downfield here, so they might as well just run this clock out and go into the half with a 3-score lead over San Diego. I like the little cowbell noises, even though your team's getting beat up right now. Connor, 6 of 8 today. Very good day for him. 1 touchdown to Malik Higgins, finally getting his first career touchdown reception. And a hard count here from Connor, just trying to run the clock out as much as possible. 2nd and 7. And Connor's actually going to throw the football again. And he is sacked. That is Rob Roy on the sack. And that's his first of his career. And that was a huge play by the Torero defense. They call a timeout. And there's 21 seconds remaining. So if they get a stop here, they might have a shot at maybe a couple plays downfield. Get something exciting happening. Connor's going to throw it. No, he is sacked again. That is a loss of 9 yards. That'll make it 4th and 22 on the cornerback blitz. Great call by the head coach, Dan Fouts. So the Toreros with a chance to get in great field position on this punt return. They might have a shot at a couple plays before the half is over. And there's the kick. That is a high one. All the way to the 35-yard line. That was a great punt. And Doug Lay returns it to the 49. They got 9 seconds here, maybe 2 plays left. They've also got 1 timeout, so you can take a shot down the middle of the field here on a deep post route maybe, or a seam route. But Daryl Ballard's going to come out under center. And he is hit as he throws it. That is caught for the first down by Espinoza, his first catch of the day. They call a timeout. They got the ball at the Cal Poly 39-yard line, and it looks like they're going to take a shot towards the end zone on the last play of the first half, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Hail Mary time, folks. One of the most exciting plays in college football. And Ballard crushed as he throws it, but he got rid of it, and it was almost caught by Demetrius George. Very good effort there, but it is 21-0 at the half. And unfortunately for the Toreros, they have to kick the football off here to the red-hot Cal Poly Mustang offense. And their offense has just been stampeding the Torero defense all game. But really, the game ball is going to go to the entire Cal Poly Mustang defense because they've been playing phenomenal. And there's the kickoff to the goal line. Malik Higgins on the return up to the 20-yard line. And Alexander Connor in the offense starts off. Actually, it's at the 25-yard line, excuse me. We haven't seen Desmond Lewis yet today, but there really hasn't been a need or a big need to throw the football today for Cal Poly. Hard count. They're going to hand to Lozano. He breaks the tackle and gets nothing on that run, but a good effort nonetheless. That'll make it 2nd and 10. Another crazy stat of the season. Left guard Dan Williamson of Cal Poly came into this game with 40 pancakes and only 1 sack allowed. And Connor's going to throw the football here over the middle, and that was caught and dropped by Malik Higgins. That is a big problem from him this season, and that's what happens when you pick the athletic player build. You're going to be more likely to drop a pass. But if you catch it, look out. So with that drop, it'll be 3rd and 10 now for Cal Poly. From the 25-yard line, they have got 0 yards on this drive so far. Crowd getting into it. They need a big stop here. And Connor's going to take off with it. And he's going to pick up the first down and more. Stiff arms a defender. And that was a huge run. 19-yard carry for the quarterback. That gets Cal Poly over the 100-yard mark rushing for this game. Disappointing play there for the defense. Got to think Dan Fouts is not happy with that play. Connor under center. Lozano the third behind him. They're going to hand it off. No, it is play action. And wide open is Desmond Lewis, his first catch of the game. And that is his 17th catch on the season. That's an 8-yard pickup. That gives him 299 yards receiving on the year. Connor again coming out under center. He's got 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Trying the hard count here, and he's going to go play action again over the middle, almost intercepted. I don't know why he threw that pass. There was 4 defenders in the area. That was intended for Malik Higgins. That brings up a 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. Cal Poly 3 of 5 today on 3rd down conversions. And they're going to throw it again. Quick pass. It's picked off by Isaac Price. And that was not a good throw. That is Price's 2nd pick on the season. And you do not want a taunting penalty here, Isaac. That would be the 2nd one of the game. Walk off the field, young man. And he just jumped right in front of Desmond Lewis on that play. That was a great play by the corner. And not a good throw from Alexander Connor. I believe that is his 5th interception of the season for Connor. Now the offense for San Diego needs to capitalize on this. They're in great field position, and they need a score desperately. And a quick pass. That was almost picked off by Harmon again. And that was actually Connor's 6th interception on the season. And Darrell Ballard now has 9 for the year. So 5 touchdowns, 9 picks for him. And he desperately needs a 6th touchdown right now. But they're going to come out in the I formation, try to pound the ball here, guys. Come on. Got to try to get that ground game working. And they will run it, but Ballard is dropped for a big loss of 5 yards. That was Sims, the left end, with his 3rd tackle for a loss today. They have not been able to get this ground game working whatsoever, which is forcing Darrell Ballard to throw the football. And that is what teams have done to San Diego this season. They stopped Robbie Ballard. You force Darrell Ballard to throw the football. They get a lot of sacks against him and a lot of picks. And there was almost another interception here by the safety. And that'll make it 4th and 13. So San Diego, again, does nothing with the football on offense. So they send on Webb for the punt. He's done a great job this season. He is actually not a punter, he is the kicker, but he is better than their punter. And he's going to kick it away from the 34-yard line. Inside the 20, returned up the left sideline. Malik Higgins with a hurdle in the open field, and Malik Higgins is gone. What a play. And there is a flag on the play for clipping. Oh my goodness, that's going to back him up 91 yards. Unreal penalty right there. Malik Higgins shows great athleticism going up the left sideline, hurdles a down defender, and outraces everybody. And it's all called back. My goodness. Now they're still waiting for the football to be placed down by the referees. They're not doing a great job right now. That really kind of makes me question that clipping call just now. Connor hands off to Lozano the third. He'll pick up 2 yards. And they actually give him credit for 3 on the play. 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter in San Diego, California. Connor going to hand it off to Lozano again. He'll pick up 3 more yards. Dylan Tong on the tackle. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 4 from the 15-yard line. San Diego is 0 for 4 today on third downs. Cal Poly 3 of 6. The crowd trying to get into it. They need a big stop here, and they get it. What a stop. A couple linebackers coming through with a gang tackle. And that'll bring up 4th and 2. Cal Poly sending on the punt unit. Mason averaging 41.9 yards per punt this season. Very good average. And he'll kick it from his 5-yard line. And that is all the way to the 34-yard line. Doug Lay fumbles the football. And luckily it is recovered by Demetrius George. They could not afford a turnover in that situation. But luckily his counterpart at wide receiver fell on the ball. San Diego still needing their first score of the game to get back into it. Cal Poly has dominated them so far in all facets of the game. And they're going to go play action. Quick pass. It's caught by Doug Lay. Nice break tackle right there as well up to the 41-yard line. Ballard up to 148 yards passing today. About half of that was on that one pass play to Demetrius George. 46 yards receiving today for Doug Lay. And that gets him close to 300 yards receiving for the season. Robbie Ballard behind Darrell, and they're going to toss it out, and they're going to throw the football back to Darrell Ballard, and he's got a first down reception. That's his first career catch, and he gets about 12 yards. First career throw for Robbie. Fantastic play. They're desperate. They got the trickeration out. But they get a first down out of it. They desperately needed it. 2 tight end formation. Rob Lay out on the right side, or left side, excuse me. And Darrell Ballard gets sacked again. Demarius Lamache, 2 tackles today, 1 pick, and a sack. Second and 17 now. Toreros cannot afford to keep going backwards like this. Every time they get close to the end zone, they go backwards. Come out with 2 tight ends again. They got Rob Roy in there, closest guy to the right side, and they'll throw it to him. He'll get about 5 yards on the reception. It's his second catch on the season. 0 for 4 on third down conversions, and this is a long one. It's 3rd and 12. Ballard in the shotgun by himself. Pressured. Rolls out right side. Takes a shot. Deflected away. Great play by the secondary. That's going to bring up a 4th and 12 from the 30. Decision time. Do you go for it or do you try a 47-yard field goal? And San Diego they're going to go for it. The crowd cheering. They're happy they're going to go for it. They know they need some points here late in the third quarter. Ballard in the shotgun by himself again. Taking a shot right side. Caught by Doug Lay. He's got the first down and more to the 15-yard line. What a clutch throw and catch and run on that play. San Diego really hasn't tested the middle of the field today, which is kind of surprising since Cal Poly does not have anybody on defense in the middle of the field. It's really just the left side of the field that's covered for Cal Poly. A 1st and 10. Darrell almost picked off by the right cornerback. He wanted Demetrius George, and he threw it directly to the corner. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 now. And they're going to come out with 2 tight ends again. Big I formation. And they're going to run the football. Robbie Ballard, he'll pick up 4 or 5 yards. He's got 0 yards rushing today. Very impressive job by the defense to stop him. Nice 0-yard average. Fantastic stat to have if you're a running back that just had a 200-plus yard game. Over 5 on third down conversions. It's 3rd and 6. 50 seconds remain in the third quarter. Darrell Ballard under center. And he'll throw it again to the end zone. It's caught by Demetrius George for the touchdown. They finally get on the scoreboard. And that's George's 4th touchdown of the season. He now has, for sure, over 400 yards receiving on the year. And finally, they're starting to close the gap here. It's 21-6. It'll be 21-7 pending this extra point from Webb. Darrell Ballard gets his 6th touchdown pass on the season. And 4 of those are to George. We have yet to see a touchdown pass from Darrell Ballard to a non-subscriber player. He's got 4 to George, 1 to Lay, and 1 to Robbie Ballard to total his 6 touchdown passes. You see most of the other teams have some touchdown passes to non-subscriber players that utilize all the weapons that they have, even if they are not stellar athletes. Webb on for the kickoff. Malik Higgins back deep to return. And he's going to return this from 4 yards deep in his own end zone. Great return, left side, up past the 30-yard line. Very electric player. Connor and Raul Lozano III coming back out. Single back formation. 3 wide receiver set, 1 tight end. Johnson in motion. And Connor's going to go that side with a carry to Lozano, and he goes nowhere. Luke Moss on the tackle. And they're going to continue the single back formation and keep it on the ground. Lozano III a couple yards again. He now has over 100 yards rushing today on 14 carries with 2 scores. And that might have been the final play of the third quarter. Both teams still have all 3 timeouts remaining. Cal Poly 3 of 7 on third downs today. And they will not get that play off. So that is the third quarter. 21-7, Cal Poly on top. Looking for their 4th win on the year. San Diego trying to come back here. Trying to get their 3rd win on the season. They are 2-2 so far. Crowd getting into it. They need another big stop here. Looks like Luke Moss is going to blitz up the middle. And he actually drops back. No, he does blitz. Then drops back again. That's deflected away. Great play by the linebacker. And San Diego gets the stop. That was a huge stop. And they've got a chance to get within 1 score again here. They desperately need a touchdown. The field goals are just not going to cut it at this point. Back to return. Doug Lay from his 17-yard line gets about to the 29. And he's averaging 13 yards per punt return on the season on 8 returns for 1 touchdown. Darryl Ballard now over 1,100 passing yards for the season with 6 touchdowns, but he's been sacked about, I think, 26 times now. And he's going to try to throw it, play action, and a deep shot. That was for Espinoza, and he overthrew his target. 1,140 passing yards exactly for Darryl Ballard. Well, it's 2nd and 10 here. You got to get some yards. You don't want to go into a 3rd and 10 situation again. And obviously, you do not want to get sacked here either. And they're going to run the football. Robbie Ballard breaks to the outside. 1st down and more. Past the 50, the 40, gets a block, and Robbie Ballard's going to take it all the way. Oh my goodness. That was a huge play. He was stuffed at the line of scrimmage. He gets a perfect block right there from Demetrius George, who came all the way across the field to block Joseph Lozano. And Robbie Ballard had 0 rushing yards up until that point on 6 carries. He now has 7 carries for 71 yards and a touchdown. Phenomenal play. Oh my goodness. That is Robbie's 8th touchdown run on the season. He now has over 700 rushing yards as well. And it's 21-14, just like that. San Diego with a furious comeback attempt here late in the game. They need their defense to get another stop, though, and then they'll be able to tie it up. That band is getting me pumped up right now. I don't know about you guys. If you're Cal Poly, you cannot afford a quick 3 and out. San Diego's got all the momentum right now. 2 straight scores. Cal Poly had a 3 and out last drive, and it resulted in a San Diego touchdown right after that. And here's Malik Higgins on the return. And a nice tackle up at the 22-yard line. Dylan Tong on the hit. First and 10 from the 23-yard line. Connor under center. 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and Raul Lozano the third in the backfield. They're going to go play action. Rob Roy almost had the sack. And Higgins with a nice catch. Cal Poly averaging over 700 yards of offense per game. Only not even 200 yards today. Which I don't think that stat is accurate. I think that is the total yards and not offensive yards. Because for offense, they average 577 per game. Play action again. Connor takes off. He's got the first down. And this is a great drive so far for Cal Poly. Just keep getting first downs. Run this clock out as much as you can. Maybe get a field goal here, at least, to extend the lead to 2 scores again. Okay, get this game out of reach for the Toreros. Connor under center again. 4 wide receiver set. And he's going to throw the football. No, he's going to take off. And jukes and picks up maybe 7 or 8 yards. He's got 25 yards on the ground today. That'll make it 2nd and 3. They got to get to the 50-yard line. And they're going to continue to come out with the 4 wide receivers set with Connor under center. And another play action. Takes a shot, and that was to nobody. That was intended for Desmond Lewis. That wasn't even close. And not only does that stop the clock, but that makes it 3rd down and 3 yards to go. This is a huge play. The Toreros desperately need this stop. And Cal Poly really needs this first down. San Diego's got all the momentum still. Connor going to throw the football. Pressured. And he connects. And that was Johnson, I believe, with a first down. Only 96 passing yards today for Cal Poly. And they average 374 yards per game. So great job today by the San Diego defense to stop the passing game. But that was a huge play. That'll make it 1st and 10 from the San Diego 24-yard line. And they can still stop them from making a field goal. Just get a couple tackles for a loss here. You might push them out of field goal range. But Connor's going to throw it again. Almost intercepted. Luke Moss on the deflection. As you take a look at the quarterback comparisons for the season. Darrell Ballard sacked 27 times this year. That offensive line is not helping him whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The clock is stopped with that incomplete pass. Connor, 4 wide receivers set again. No tight ends, though. And he'll hand it off to Raul Lozano III. He is dropped for a loss by Luke Moss. The big boss, Luke Moss. That makes it 3rd and 10. Another huge play here. Cal Poly 4 of 9 today on 3rd down conversions. And they're running some of the clock out here. 3.5 minutes to go. And Connor's going to throw the football. Pressured. Takes a shot to the end zone. Deflected away. Great play by the cornerback. And that will bring on 4th and 10. And he wanted to connect with Malik Higgins. But it's 4th and 10 from the 24-yard line. This will be a 41-yard field goal attempt, which is pretty long for the non-subscriber kicker, who is not very good. Eric Spears Jr. on the hold. Hold is good. Snap good. Kick is good. Right down the middle. And that's going to give Cal Poly a 10-point lead. It is 24-14. So a pretty good job by San Diego on defense right there. They just allowed that one big pass play. And after that, they stopped them 3 straight plays, but a nice field goal kick still gives Cal Poly the 2-score lead. Demetrius George, Doug Lay back to return the ensuing kickoff. And it looks like Doug Lay is going to have this one. And he's going to kneel it down 5 yards deep in the end zone. And the crowd not happy with that. They wanted a kick return for a touchdown. And wouldn't we all? San Diego coming out with a 2 tight end formation. Rob Roy, the tight end on the right side of your screen. And they're going to go play action. Ballard's pass is deflected, almost picked off again by a defensive lineman. If that had happened, you might as well have just thrown in the white towel. 2nd and 10 now. After another play-action pass. Ballard under center, 2 tight ends again. Play action again, and that's picked off again. 3 interceptions now for this defense. Ballard has now thrown 10 INTs this season. And that was not a good throw at all. Just jumped right in front of it. He wanted to hit the tight end on the route, but not even close. Number 2 corner for Cal Poly comes away with it. And it might be a little too late now for San Diego. And that's it. The turnover battle has been won from Cal Poly right now. And those are going to be the deciding stats in these subscriber versus subscriber games. Whoever turns the ball over the least amount of times will most likely win this game and all of these subscriber versus subscriber games going forward. 2nd and 5, I formation. Connor probably going to hand it off here to Lozano III. Running as much clock out as possible. And he will hand it off to Raul, and he picks up maybe 2 yards. How to make it 3rd and 3 for the Mustangs. They're 4 for 10 today, 40% on 3rd down conversions. Not very good, but not god-awful either. And Connor's going to throw the football right side. Wide open is Lozano III, and he's going to take it to the 2-yard line. How do you not cover the halfback? And he actually gets it to the 1-yard line, excuse me. And you got to think they're going to run the ball here and get an easy touchdown run. Crowd trying to get into it. 2 minutes remaining in the ball game. Goal line formation. I'm expecting a Lozano the third handoff. No, they're going to throw the football. Lozano again wide open for the touchdown reception. That's his third touchdown catch on the season. He's over 250 yards receiving for the year as well. And that is 2 straight plays. They just don't even bother covering the star halfback. And Cal Poly looks like they're going to come away with a victory here in San Diego, California. It's 30-14 right now. Going to be 31-14 pending this extra point. Snap is good, hold good, and the kick is good. So Cal Poly has the 31-14 lead. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the game. And the game was pretty close there. It was 21-14. San Diego needed a stop. They didn't get it. Cal Poly kicked a field goal. They lost their momentum. And then Cal Poly gets the pick and scores another touchdown to extend the lead to 17 points. And a nice kick downfield. Doug Lay from the goal line. And he goes nowhere to about the 19. Not a lot of offense today. 2 very dominant defenses. But we're very close to my prediction right now. I predicted Cal Poly would win 30-20. So it is very close at the moment. There's still time though. 2 minutes to go. 3 timeouts for San Diego. But they are down 3 scores now. Darrell taking a shot over the middle. Almost picked off for the 4th time today. And the crowd is letting him hear it. We haven't really seen a whole lot of Demetrius George since that one huge reception. And Paxton Early goes off sides. There's a free play. And it doesn't matter. It was almost intercepted again. But that'll be a free 5-yard play there. Paxton Early just getting a little ahead of himself. Second and 5. 1:45 remaining. But it looks like Cal Poly is going to improve to 4-1 on the season, 2-0 in PAC-10 play. And that pass is picked off again from Cal Poly. What a spin move on Demetrius George. Oh my goodness. And that's returned to the 24. That's the 4th pick thrown by Darrell Ballard today. He now has 11 on the season. And he forced that one big time. Triple coverage. He wanted Espinoza. Not a good decision. You got one fan out here chanting, "Let's go defense." A little too late for your defense, bud. Pro formation. And they're going to go with Lozano the third and his spin, and he'll pick up 9 yards. And they'll actually only give him credit for 8. So it'll be 2nd and 2 from the 16-yard line. And that's a very long 1 yard, basically. Trying to run the clock out as much as possible here. And they're going to hand it off to Lozano again. He goes nowhere this time. Dylan Tong, his 6th tackle on the year or on the game. That'll give him 26 for the season. He's been very impressive. Players of the game, Robbie Ballard, 71 yards and a touchdown. Raul Lozano III had himself a great game as well, over 100 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown to go along with it. 3rd and 2, and he is stuffed by Luke Moss coming through, looking like the Ray Lewis play against Darren Sproles on 4th down. That was great. Then it will make it 4th and 4. Cal Poly will most likely send on the field goal unit to make it a 34-14 lead. Williams 2 of 3 on the season along with 42 yards. This is a 35-yard field goal attempt. And the kick is up. And it is good right down the middle. So it's 34-14. Cal Poly is going to win this game and improve to 2-0 in the Pac-10. San Diego a little short-handed today. They didn't have Brick Wall, their left tackle, and they did not have defensive end Boom Johnson. And that has resulted in them not getting a whole lot of pressure on Alexander Connor in this game. Of course, Johnson only had 1 sack on the season, but it would have been great to see him play in this game. And the kickoff is deep to Doug Lay yet again from the 3-yard line this time, and he'll get it to the 22. 30 seconds remaining. Still some time here for San Diego to get something going for their offense, and still time for Dale Ballard to throw another interception on the game. He's going to come out in the 5-wide set. Please don't throw another interception. We don't want to see it. Ballard, right side. Oh my goodness, it's picked off again. I was about to say almost picked off, but it was deflected right into his hands. That is the 5th pick of this game. That was Lee on the interception. He's like the 4th string corner. Or he might be the safety. I just can't even remember. 5 interceptions for Darrell Ballard. Not a good game for him. They definitely lost the turnover battle today. And the Mustangs come out in victory formation. And they are going to run this clock out and walk out of San Diego with their 4th win on the season, 2nd in Pac-10 football play. There's no need to snap the ball again. This game is finished. But player of the game is Raul Lozano III. He played outstanding. And for some reason, San Diego did not want to cover him on that final touchdown drive that they had. But that's it, folks. 34-14 is the final. Cal Poly comes out of here with the win. 4-1 on the season. San Diego drops to 2-3. 2-1 in Pac-10 play. Just a great game by Cal Poly's defense. 5 interceptions. Unreal. Take a look at the stats. Not a lot of offense today. San Diego only 47 rushing yards, which is obviously garbage. San Diego also had a fumble. Luckily, that was recovered by the Toreros. So they would have had 6 turnovers. But Cal Poly puts up 13 points in the 4th quarter to pull away. Darrell Ballard, 12 of 28, 1 touchdown, 5 picks. He was also sacked 5 times. So that'll make it 27 sacks on the season against him. Robbie Ballard really had an awful game. He just had 1 good run, that was it. Demetrius George with a touchdown today. One drop for Robbie Ballard as I pick up for some apparent reason. I don't know. Dylan Tong, 6 tackles. DJ Payne with 4. Rob Roy and Luke Moss each had 4 as well. Darrell Ballard had a tackle today. Isaac Price, 1 tackle, 1 pick. Bunch of tackles for a loss for both teams. Rob Roy with a sack. First of his career. 5 pass deflections for the San Diego defense. Some decent kick returns today. Alexander Connor, 11 of 20, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Not a stellar day for him, but he got the job done. Sacked 3 times today, along with 29. Raul Lozano III, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Connor had 23 yards. Raul had a 120-plus yard run, 5 broken tackles. He also led the team in yards receiving with 39 and a touchdown. Malik Higgins gets his first career touchdown reception. He also had 1 drop. Dane Williamson, 4 pancakes. Look at those, 15 pancakes, 10 pancakes. Wow. That gives Dan Williamson 44 pancakes this season. Desmond Lewis had 2 pancakes. That gives him 12 on the year, which is more than some offensive linemen. Demarius Lamache, Greg Ford, just monstrous games for them. Chris Lee with an interception. Look at all these tackles for a loss. Insane numbers, guys. 5 sacks as well. And 5 interceptions. A bunch of deflections. Look at all these deflections. My goodness. Forced fumble for Mark Wilson today. 2 for 2 field goals for Anthony Williams. 1 punt inside the 20 for John Mason. Malik Higgins had a punt return for a touchdown. Called back. That was a very awesome play. Hurdling a down defender. But it was called back anyway, all the way back to his own 9-yard line. Our next Cal Poly game, they will be hosting the Portland State Vikings. That is a Week 8 game. So you see that in a couple weeks. San Diego, our next game for them, they will be hosting the number 7 ranked Navy Midshipmen. They're probably ranked higher now. But that's it for this game, guys. Our next game will be out tomorrow. That is the Western Carolina Catamounts, traveling to take on the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. I'll see you guys with that one tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.